I think that there are very good arguments to believe that there is some kind of foundational principle of the universe, some necessarily existing being, some first cause. Yet I think that human traditions and interpretations are imperfect approximations of who or what that being truly is. They may capture fragments of wisdom accrued over millennia, but they will also err in countless ways. My name is Marcus Aurelius. I am a student of philosophy, a seeker of reason, and a practitioner of the Stoic way. The strongest arguments for and against the existence of a foundational principle. I think probably the most powerful argument for the existence of such a principle is the so-called first cause argument, though it is often misunderstood. Many consider causation merely in a linear, temporal sense, what preceded what, and what led to the present. But there is also a hierarchical way to consider causation, a vertical ordering of power and dependence. Consider this simple example, a glass of water. Why is this water here? One might say someone poured it, and then trace that action back infinitely through a chain of motives and events. Yet that is a horizontal, temporal view of causation. There is another way. Why does the water retain its form and position right now? Because it is held by the glass. And why does the glass remain upright? Because my hand supports it. My hand is supported by my arm by my shoulder by my body by the chair by the ground, and the ground by the foundations of the earth. If we follow this hierarchical causation, we see that each link has no causal power of its own. The glass cannot hold the water except insofar as it is supported by my hand. Remove any preceding cause, and the chain collapses instantly. Each thing borrows its power from something more fundamental. There must be a source of causal power that is itself independent. Otherwise, all causation in this present moment would vanish. This is not like the temporal domino chain, where earlier causes can disappear and the later effects persist. Here, in hierarchical causation, the first cause must endure. It provides the foundational power from which all else derives. Without it, the water, the glass, my hand, even the ground itself, would have no ability to maintain the order of the universe in this very instant. Thus, reason points toward the necessity of a foundational being or principle, a source from which all causal power emanates. It is the underpinning of existence itself, the principle that holds all things together and without which nothing would remain. So it's a sustaining cause. It's causing things to exist and be as they are right now in time. Not like a billion years ago, set something in motion, but right now sustaining it in existence in the same way that, like, the law of gravity sustains all of the objects in this room in position. It's a fundamental cause of why everything is being held up right now. If that just switched off, the entire thing would fall apart. And you need that now, right now, at the basis of this sort of causal chain. Floors holding up chairs, chairs holding up buildings, and so on. You might say, well, maybe the fundamental cause there is something like the law of gravity. Fine. But you might want to ask, what is holding the law of gravity in place? What ensures it won't stop working tomorrow? This is the great contemplation Marcus Aurelius often encourages, the Stoic awareness of the underlying principles that sustain the cosmos. There are technical terms philosophers use, contingency, necessity, per se, per accidens. But let's set that aside. Just think. What is holding up this invisible microphone above my head? The depth of explanation depends on context. A technician might say, it's the mic stand. A physicist might say, it's the floor pressing against the mic stand. A Stoic philosopher following Aurelius would say, it is whatever is at the foundation of this causal chain, the universal principle giving life and structure to all things. This is the strongest sense of a first cause argument, a cause that is timeless and present now. This alone doesn't establish the existence of God as many conceive it. It simply establishes that there is some fundamental sustaining principle of the universe. There are debates about what that could be. The important point is that there is no singular argument for God. Rather, there is a cumulative insight. Different perspectives illuminate different aspects of the principle. Marcus Aurelius, like the philosophers who came after him, urges reflection on change and motion. Something changes when what is potential becomes actual. A hot cup of coffee cools because its potential to be cool is actualized. But potential can only be actualized by something already actual. A fridge does not potentially cool coffee. It must be actually cold to bring about the coffee's cooling. So every instance of change requires something actual to actualize it. And that chain continues. To actualize this, something actual was needed, and before that, another actualizer. Following this, we arrive at a principle of pure act, a fundamental sustaining force. This is not material, for matter is always subject to potentiality, to division, to movement. The Stoic sees here the rational structure of the cosmos, an ordering principle that preserves all things, now and always. And so, if the first cause of the universe must be pure act, without potentiality, then whatever sustains the universe cannot be material. We arrive, therefore, at an immaterial first cause. By reflecting further, one sees that this cause must exist beyond time and space, a timeless, spaceless principle that sustains and orders all things. Powerful enough to bring the cosmos into existence, it underlies everything that is. If you do not wish to call this God, that is of little consequence. The essential point is that there is a principle which holds all things in place. The strongest challenge to the existence of God, or to the idea of a benevolent, all-powerful divine principle, is the problem of suffering. Consider the natural world. Life on Earth arises through evolution by natural selection, a process of survival of the fittest. This means that destruction, death, and suffering are woven into the very fabric of life. For billions of years, creatures have existed in relentless competition, many wiped out entirely, often in grim ways. And yet, from this mechanism emerges humanity. The suffering inherent in the process is immense, not only for humans, but for countless other creatures. Marcus Aurelius would remind us, in his Stoic way, that we cannot control all that happens, but we can seek to understand the order that sustains it. The universe unfolds according to reason, even when it seems cruel to us. We may not grasp the ultimate purpose, but we can apprehend the existence of a rational principle that maintains all things. This does not disprove the existence of God or a first cause. It only reminds us that if there is a good and rational principle, its ways may be inscrutable to finite minds. Some philosophers assert that God must be perfectly good, and some religious traditions insist on the same. Yet even if human conceptions are imperfect, they hint toward an underlying truth. There is a foundational cause of the universe. The first cause is not a distant deity who sets the universe in motion and then departs. That notion belongs to mechanistic thinking, imagining the cosmos as a machine wound up and left to run. Rather, the sustaining principle, what we may call God or reason or nature, is present now, at this very moment, holding the universe together. It is the unseen hand that keeps the microphone above my head, the floor beneath my feet, the stars in their courses. It is not merely at the beginning, but here and now, in every instant. One may distinguish between this sustaining principle and a personal interest in human affairs. The Stoic focus is on comprehension, not devotion. Understanding that all things arise from a rational, ordering principle gives one the strength to endure and act in accordance with nature. This is the wisdom Marcus Aurelius sought, to recognize the first cause, to see it in the present, and to live in harmony with the order of things. Wow, that was quite a journey. I hope you found some value in this video and maybe even a new way to think about things. If you did, please take a moment to like this video. It really helps me know what kind of content resonates with you. And if you think your friends or family would enjoy it too, don't hesitate to share it with them. Of course, The best way to stay part of this journey is to subscribe to the channel. We're building a community here where ideas grow and curiosity never stops. Your support makes it possible to keep creating thoughtful content, and honestly, it means the world to me. So thank you for being here, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.